What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Nuttyfoodiefitness here. I cannot take the smile off of my face because yesterday I only went and did my very first triathlon. It was one of the best experiences. Genuinely had the most amazing time. I didn't think that I was gonna find it fun.
So I missed Steph at the start, but I found her. There she is, in the middle. That one there. Good filming, Grant. She looks really good, looks like she's smashing it. Great form, doesn't look tired. Let's go! So Steph is on the final stretch. She's one of these little dots over there. I'm not going to take my eyes off her for too long because it was so hard to find her, but she's killing it. She's just got to make her way over to that yellow boy over there and then into the transition onto the bike. She's killing it. He should be coming in very soon. Go on, Steph! Smashing it. Let's go. Run. Get it. You smashed it. You look really good. Let's go. Well done, Steph. Come on, let's get it. Let's go. Come on, Steph. You're smashing it. Let's go. Let's go, Steph. Great pace, keep going. Solid pace, smash it. Let's go.
Let's go.
God, Steph, that pace is insane.
Just a run.
One more lap.
It's your shoes.
You did it. You did it. I can't believe how badly you smashed that. So good. Proud of you. You did really well.
So good. I did it. I just like everything was fine. Everything was absolutely fine. I got on the bike and I was like, if I survive the bike, then I can thrive on the run. I need to just stop this. So average pace 4:32 runs.
So good. You got quicker, I think. I think your middle lap was the quickest, I think.
1 hour 37. So now I know half of what I've got myself into.
Yeah.
Just half. I got a t-shirt.
Look at you. It's official. She's a triathlete. Babe,
yeah.
You did so good. Do you know, I was so relieved to see you smiling after the transition. So happy.
And I actually feel good. Somehow I have no issues at all, so...
Just another day in the office, isn't it? Well done. Should we go get some food? There she is.
Mexican burrito. Ooh. Apple tart with custard. Ooh. Cheers.
Good post-race snack.
Yeah, little snackette. Let's see what it's cross section. Ooh. Bit dry.
Good. Cool.
Burrito had. We've now got a apple tart to attack with custard. Oh my god, this is so much better than the burrito. They've redeemed themselves. That's good. Anyway, we're now in the car. We got some food. We are gonna drive back. I will do a little bit of a recap of how the whole thing went. Maybe tomorrow I'll sit down and talk through it. But yeah, I'm on a massive high and I had a great time. Honestly, I had a great time. I smiled the whole way through. No disasters. I'm so happy.
Well done, proud of you.
I definitely came out of that feeling just so much happier about everything. I definitely put this medal on just before hitting record, but give the video a thumbs up if you now consider me a triathlete. As you can see, I have my finisher medal. I did the Outlaw Holkham Half. It was an amazing event. I swam 1.2 miles, I biked 56 miles, and I ran for 13.1 miles. I've come out of it just feeling super, super excited about what there is to come, because at the start line, before starting the swim, the guy on the mic basically said, put your hands up if you're a first timer. And already I was thinking, okay, there's a lot of people here that look very experienced and know what they're doing. Put my hand up and I looked around only to find that one other person was a first timer. And I was like, wow, like what am I doing? You know, everyone with their official tri-club, tri-suits, Ironman tattoos on their cuffs, left, right and center, everyone talking about what races they're doing. I just was like, what have I got myself into? So moments before the swim, I think that is when I felt the most nervous and anxious, because obviously you've got just the whole day ahead. Things only improved as the day went on. Put it this way, it went so much smoother than what I imagined. I envisioned such a different experience. Like, I knew that my body could handle the volume because I am training for a full Ironman that's coming up in 2 months. So I knew that the distance probably wouldn't be the biggest challenge. It was more the fact that I'd never practiced transitions, had no idea really what I was doing. I mean, I went and I put gels and my socks and my trainers in my little transition area and basically just looked around to see what other people were doing. Yeah, as soon as they told my wave to get into the water, I thought, right, this is it. You have got this. I basically said to myself, you got this. I'd say minimum 60 times throughout the course of yesterday. And I can tell you for a fact, repeating positive affirmations makes a hell of a lot of difference. It just gave me that boost. Whew, the sun's just come out and I'm getting hot. Out of everything, I think the swim is the thing that I least was ready for. I was not ready for the dirty water. I was not ready for the algae to be all up in my face, on my neck, the kicking. I knew that was coming, but I'd never experienced it. It definitely hindered the way I swam, because basically having to swim pretty much with my head out. It was probably like halfway through the swim, I could finally kind of keep my head down and swim more efficiently, because it wasn't the most efficient thing to be like swimming with my head up. Overall, I would say that the swim was really quite unnerving. We got through it. I, at this point, had no idea how long it had taken me. I thought I was really slow. Prior to starting, I was kind of a little bit nervous, thinking, am I gonna be able to keep up? Where in actual fact, it was kind of the opposite, and I was having to swim around a lot of people in order to kind of go ahead. It wasn't bad, like, don't get me wrong. I didn't have a terrible experience. I was just not ready for everything to be all up in my face. Like, you literally couldn't see anything. The water was very, very murky. I actually did okay getting the wetsuit off. The only thing I knew was to try and get my wetsuit off with my left hand, because the Velcro's on that side. So took that off, ran to the transition point, and I think transition 1 was what I was really the most afraid of, because I just didn't know how it was gonna pan out. I was really worried that I was going to be really cold on the bike, because I'd never cycled wet off of a swim in a tri-suit, but it turns out you do dry really quickly. It was fine. I took my time. I had a gel, I drank some water, I started up my Garmin. I think I need to play around with the settings to have it on already, because I probably was fiddling around with my Garmin computer for about 2 minutes. And in total, my transition time was 5 minutes, which also surprised me because I thought it felt like I spent about 10 minutes. I was probably done in the first minute, and then I just kind of stood there thinking, I have my shoes on, I have my helmet on, and I also, sorry for too much information, but I did really need to pee, and so I just peed in my wetsuit as I took it off. Because I mean, let's be honest, we were all wet at this point, and I didn't manage to pee in the water, which is what everyone does. It's what everyone does, but I couldn't because you know, you have to be relaxed. That didn't happen, but I knew I needed to pee before getting on a bike, you know, for 3.5 hours. So I did that, thought, great, good job, Steph. And then, yeah, I got on the bike and I just kept my fingers crossed that I would not have a puncture because, yes, I did my 70.3 without having a repair kit. I know you're thinking that's stupid, and it is. However, if I did have a repair kit, I cannot tell you that I would have been able to do anything. I would have just been with a puncture and not been able to fix it, which is probably even worse. I risked that. I lived life on the edge, went on the bike, and honestly, I can tell you right now that the most pleasantly surprising thing was the fact that the bike was amazing. 0 issues on the bike, and every time I looked down to see how much distance I'd covered, the number was just increasing, and it literally flew by. I think it was just because I am very nervous when it comes to cycling because I'm not very good at handling the bike. So, you know, if I'm having to stop at junctions and having to clip in, clip out, that's when the issues happen. But because of the way that the race is organising, I didn't have to stop. There were marshals at a couple of junctions where they would stop the traffic, let you go. It was so well marked out. Very little cars. There were some, obviously not all the roads were closed, but the roads that there were cars on, it was absolutely fine. I just felt really, really relaxed. Shoulders don't tense up, and sum up, loved the cycling. The course is beautiful. If you're into triathlons and you want to do a well-organised race, I can't recommend Outlaw Holkham anymore. It was amazing, so well organised. The atmosphere was insane. Everyone was so kind, so supportive. Really had a great time. Then obviously went into transition, and one thing I could have done that I didn't do is I didn't change my cycling socks to my running socks. Because my feet felt fine and, you know, they didn't feel hot or anything, I just thought I might as well just stay in the socks I was cycling in. If I could change anything, I would have got into my running socks. It would have definitely been a lot more comfortable because the cycling socks are really thin. Another thing I would have done differently is I, on the run, took loads of gels. I ended up only having blocks on the run because they were working well. I just thought, why now change it and have gels? Because on the bike I had like 6 gels. Got them here. I had blocks on the bike. I also had Serene, and I also had loads of these Morton gels, which were the ones I used for the London Marathon. So I thought I will use them for the race. Fantastic. Like, had absolutely no stomach issues, no cramping. It worked really well. On the run, I had loads of gels in my race belt. They were actually like quite heavy because I packed in loads. Like, it's amazing how much you can fit in here because it really does like stretch out. So I took too many. Like, I know that it's probably better to have too many than too little, but I took too many that it was quite annoying because the race belt kept on moving. Oh, and also Cliff Bars. And flapjacks. I ate a lot on the bike, had something every 30 minutes. You can program like Garmin computers and stuff to tell you like eat. I never need a cue to eat, put it that way. Sorry, we're going back to the bike part, but it got to 1:30, which was the crucial point in which I had to decide, do I now stop, get my other drink that was underneath, and do I then bring it to the top and like fill up the top drink? I actually managed to pick the bottle up, drink, and put it back down, which if you're watching this and are new here, we really are starting from the bottom. Watch the video I previously uploaded. It's been a real journey. We're still learning. That bottle had the electrolytes, and so I knew I needed to drink it. Grant actually changed the bottle cage the day before. That minor adjustment paid off because I was able to put the bottle back and carry on riding. you know, you think it's not a big deal, but when you're doing such a long distance, it's crucial that you also have electrolytes because you don't want to be cramping up and you need the salts. I knew it wasn't a case of like, oh, wing it without. I knew I had to have them. So I'm so happy that I managed to do that. T2, transition 2, I think I took like a minute. Also, again, it felt like at least 5. It's weird because once you start, you're at that start point, like it's all systems go until the end. When you're stopped for 1 minute, I feel like time really slows down. I took the opportunity to have some more gel, some more drink. Yeah, the run was great. The run course was quite difficult. There was 2 big hills on every loop, and there was 3 loops to do of 7K. The hills were, you could see the top, which is quite scary when you've obviously like swum and cycled also. But even on a normal day, I would be like, I have to like run up that. My thing throughout the whole day was nothing about timing, nothing about pacing. I didn't want to look at my watch to see what pace am I going at. I just went off how I felt, took the hills a bit slower, but overall, I felt really good on the run. Triathlon's really cool because every single person has their strengths and their weaknesses. You know that my strength is not in the cycling. For me, like the running is where I excel at. I definitely realized yesterday that running off the bike for me compared to just running normally, it doesn't feel that different, which is amazing, obviously. By that point, you have been out there for hours. I think my swim was about 38 minutes. Bike was 3 hours 10. I'll put the stats here. The run, I'm not sure. I signed up to that just to have experience, to know what's in store for me doing a full Ironman in a couple of months' time. One of the key takeaways from yesterday was it's really beneficial to do another shorter distance prior, just to know about like transitions. Weird feeling going into something, just being so new to it and not knowing what to expect. But yeah, I met so many lovely people as I was like racking the bike, because you've got to go there the day before. I spoke to some lovely girls. Everyone was super helpful, fully reassured me that everything was going to be okay. It really was a great atmosphere. The lead up to the race, I didn't know what to expect, and I was scared. I was scared about how it was going to pan out, and if I was going to come to a point during the day where I just kind of felt completely out of my depth. But that time never came, like it never came. So to sum up, I had the best time, and I feel like yesterday really showed to really just trust myself and my training and how it's going, because I didn't suffer from, you know, stomach cramps. I didn't have any leg pains or injuries. Like everything really just did go my way. But I think it's also good to kind of be prepared for it to not go smoothly and to be able to like cope when things do go wrong. But there was no real point during the day where I had to question whether I could do it or not. The only thing for me was if something goes wrong with my bike, I'm done. Thank goodness it didn't, but I will obviously not take that chance again. I will learn how to change a tire and be equipped with what to do in that race. I don't know if it's the same with every like triathlon, or maybe it's different, but I did ask the day before, like one of the marshals there, and they said that if you do have an issue on the bike, like no one can help you. It's you either fix it or you're done. Just looking at my phone because you guys asked some questions and I just want to make sure I cover all bases. In terms of nutrition and what I ate leading up to the race, all I have eaten for the past like 4 days is carbs. I've not seen really any fruit or vegetables. I had like fish and chips, I had croissants, I had crumpets, muffins. The night before the race, Grant and I went out and we had glorious burgers. They were great. Oh wow. Yes.
So good on it.
Yeah. Cajun fries, which were elite. Like I actually went as far as saying to Grant that the Cajun fries were better than peri chips. That's a big statement. That was then followed on by caramelized banana bread and butter pudding. Mate. No words for how good that was. No words. And then I also did have some more Serene with a lot of peanut butter before bed. Slept a very decent 4 hours and 30 minutes. I didn't think I would even sleep like 2 hours. I also just went into it thinking, don't worry if you don't sleep a lot, because, you know, sometimes you do just have days where, I mean, take the Switzerland trip, for example. I was so sleep deprived, and you've got to make do with the circumstances and keep going. So I was up at 3:30, had my breakfast at 3:32 in the morning. I had like a pot of oats, and I basically took a full container of peanut butter and another one with apricot jam, and I just like decanted the whole load into my oats, and it worked wonders. Had a tea, flapjack, some serene. The assignment was carbs, and that is what I did. So we left at about 4:30 in the morning, arrived at the event for 5 a.m. and then I think I set off at like 6:20. The fueling all went great. I just made sure I was eating every 30 minutes. I didn't actually take on any of the nutrition from the aid stations because they did have energy gels. They had some other things, but I just thought I'll stick to what I always have. Did it go better or worse than you expected? It went significantly better than what I was expecting. You know, I had a countdown on my phone, and every day I'd think, 2 days until I do a half. The scenarios that played out in my head was like having punctures, my legs just going on the bike. Let's just say I definitely exceeded my own expectations. How did you find getting out of the wetsuit after the swim? Pretty good. What was your finishing time? #curious. It was 5 hours and 35 minutes. Going into it, like if I had to give you a rough guesstimate of what time I would do, I would have said 6 hours and a half, roughly. So when I finished and Grant told me I did 5 hours 35, I was quite shocked, if I'm honest. I was quite shocked. I also saw today that I came 12th out of my age group. I was in the 30 to 34 category. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't really know how that happened, but I will take coming 12th, like, I'll take it. Has it made you feel more confident about your Ironman? So much more confident. Although I now know that I have to do that whole thing twice, I can also see that it's not gonna feel just like the same twice. Because if that were the case, it'll go great. Like, it's so much more. Like, double is so much more. But now knowing what to expect, it's not a grey area for me where I've no idea what to expect. How did you deal with the stress, especially the night before? Congratulations. Thank you. Also, thank you so much. Like, everyone that has sent me DMs and commented, like, you've all been so supportive, and you know, the fact that you guys tracked me too, I cannot thank you enough. It really means so much that I have your support as I tackle this monster. No question, just wanted to let you know you are an inspiration and such a champ for going all in. Go girl. Thank you so much. Did you need any toilet stops? So apart from the peeing in T1, I didn't stop. Even on the run, I must have had 6 cups of water throughout the run, but like I didn't fully... What was the question? Why am I talking about water when it asked me about toilet stops? Oh, I didn't fully stop as I was drinking, but pretty much just jogging really slowly in order to like drink a bit. Like the rest was just going all over me. What helped you getting over the fear of biking alone? My experience being on the bike yesterday versus cycling on my own for the very first time a couple of days ago, completely different. I spent 4 minutes in the high stress zone today. Thanks, Whoop. I'm apparently 86% recovered. And let me just say, I'm feeling absolutely great. I said this last time when I did the marathon, and I was like, maybe it will kick in the day after, but I feel really good. And I actually did a weight session today because Andrew let me off from swim, bike, run, so I took the opportunity to smash some weights because you guys know it's been way too long. The thing is, given how much volume I'm doing in my training sessions, I wouldn't expect to feel that much of a sort of way today, given I'm preparing for a full Ironman. It would be different if I was preparing for a half, but I'm training for a full, so the volume shouldn't realistically be that much to do a half. I'm super happy that I am in this position to say that I did a half yesterday and I feel great today. Do you, or does everyone wear swim bottoms under the tri-suit? No, you just wear your tri-suit. I did wear a sports bra though, which was a good idea because for the run I did like unzip a little bit. Tips about how to recover quickly. Well, I guess just like eat. I mean, there is nothing that I have done. Like I trained back and shoulders today. I don't know if you're meant to stretch after a half. Personally, that's what I've done. So don't take advice from me on how to recover quickly. I have been eating like a machine though. That is one thing I can say. You know, fuel yourself well. Even if you're taking like a week off, 2 weeks, 3 weeks off, make sure you're eating well to really help you recover quicker. That's so funny. Outlaw Triathlon have asked me, you coming back next year? I am definitely doing another Outlaw event. I think it's on the 3rd of September. It's another half. What was your rank in age category and overall? Overall, I think I was 470th. I know there was over 1,000 people. I will take any position, just ensuring I finished was enough for me. How did you physically feel after the race? How was your body, legs, etc.? Yeah, as I said, I was feeling good. To me, it was just like Andrew said to me, a very long training session with a lot of people. What did all the split letters and numbers on the tracking website mean? Do you know what's really funny? Obviously, because I was racing, I didn't know how things come up on the website when you're tracking someone. But like looking at the transition screen, even I don't know what some of the things said. Like it said SD1. Like, what does that mean? I don't even know. T1 means transition 1, where you transition from swim to bike and then you bike. And then it's T2, which is the transition between bike and running, and then you run. I don't know what the other things meant, if I'm honest. But I do appreciate the fact that you tracked me. What was the atmosphere like with other racers and supporters? Yeah, it was amazing. There were many times where I was on the bike or in the run, and you know, if someone looked a little bit like, you know, they were struggling or looking some kind of way, I just kept on saying, you got this. Those 3 words were definitely overused yesterday, but they're powerful. I'm glad I've got it tattooed on me. How hard did you go out? I think I've covered this, but the swim was the least competitive out of the 3. Then it was probably the bike, and then the run was where I pushed it a bit, but still my average heart rate for my run was 160, which I know means I had more in the tank. So be right back, because there's more work to be done. Was your Whoop recovery today indeed 86? It was, but I didn't wear my Garmin nor my Whoop yesterday. My Whoop is basically just going off my HRV, my heart rate. I think my body's just very well adapted now to the volume. I obviously have a very great coach who pushes me the right amount. Wearing the wetsuit, I just didn't want to have any extra things in my way because you already have the chip time on your ankle. So yes, it was 86, but we'll never know what it would have been if I did wear my Whoop yesterday. Not a question, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it and the bike went well. Thank you. Did you have any uneasiness on the day? If so, when did that feeling disappear? P.S. You smashed it. The uneasiness all came from the swim. Yesterday, the only thing for me was I wanted to relax on the swim, I wanted to survive on the bike, and then I wanted to thrive on the run. Those were my goals kind of in my head, and obviously the ultimate goal was just to have fun and enjoy myself, and again I've lost my train of thought. Did you make any new Iron buddies? I made so many friends yesterday. I spoke to so many people. So if you're watching this and you were one of those people, hey. Tips for pre-race nerves. You've just got to back yourself. Know that you've put in the training. You know, I cried 5 days ago on a turbo session, and then yesterday I smashed 90k on the bike on my own. You have to just believe in yourself. I really think that self-belief can take you a long way. Your body will achieve whatever your mind thinks it can do, and so if you think you can do it, then you're way more likely to be able to push through when things get difficult. No question, just to say legend status activated. Yes! This is my finisher t-shirt. Actually did do the damn thing. 2023 Outlaw Holkham finisher. That was my recap, my summary of how yesterday went. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I also hope that if you are in a position where you know, you've got something coming up and you're feeling really nervous and anxious, out of your comfort zone, not knowing what to expect, thinking every man and his dog is going to be more experienced than me, put that all to one side and back yourself and go for it. Just try and enjoy yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, you've done the training, you've put in the hours. On the day, hopefully the adrenaline and everyone around you will just encourage you to do your very best. Thanks for supporting, thanks for being there for me. You guys are the greatest, nuttiest nation out there, and I love and appreciate you all. If there's anything I didn't cover, drop me a comment, a question in the comments down below, and I will get back to you. Bring on Ironman Barcelona. Woo! And stay nutty, my friends. So don't take any risks, she says, as she didn't have a repair kit. Is there anything you did in the 70.3 that you won't be doing in the full?
Yeah, 70.3 miles.
Why am I chatting shit for? The swim. If you made it this far in the video, comment 6, 7, 8.